Step into the world of Float, Sizzle, and Chill, where I, Dr. Schrier, take you on a captivating healing voyage each week. Explore state-of-the-art approaches to rejuvenate your body and mind. Our mission is to bring you the finest treatments and therapies for complete healing. Hi, this is Dr. Schrier with Float, Sizzle, and Chill, and I'm here with Justin Himmelbaum, a friend that I've known for many, many years, and I'm excited to have another podcast today. So the podcast that we do here, Float, Sizzle, and Chill, teaches health advice, life success stories, like Justin Himmelbaum that we're going to talk about today. He's blushing already. And also the challenges that we all go through, so people at home can see that everybody goes through it and how we all make it through to the other side and how you can be successful. How you doing today, Justin?
I'm doing great. Just had my coaching call this morning. So I talk about success stories. That's the reason for my success.
Nice. Is having a coach?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Awesome. So just a little bit of backstory. Justin and I have known each other for how many years?
Since we were probably like 13.
Yeah, I think even earlier, because I was in San Marco and Robert Buscemi and
so
me
at least 23 years.
Yeah, 20.
This is our Jordan year.
Yeah, exactly. 23 years. So we kind of grew up, around each other. We didn't hang out a ton, but we've, crossed paths a lot, and we hang out sometimes. And Justin's an awesome dude, and he's doing really big things in real estate, and he's coaching people too, looks like, and you have a coach. So why don't you share a little bit about your journey, because I kind of saw your journey from when you were working at Park Tavern as a waiter at the bar, and then you transitioned into real estate. Like, how did that happen, and how's life been?
Yeah, so I mean, kind of the quick story. First of all, thank you for having me on. It's really a pleasure. I love getting to talk about this stuff. It reminds you of the journey, right? Sometimes we forget to be grateful for all that's happened, for all the crazy stuff that's happened in our lives, but life is a cool journey. So growing up, went to college. My parents lost their job in the recession. I graduated high school 2005. So you're talking 2008, parents out of jobs, junior in college. I was doing okay in college, but I realized that I really had to go home and help them. They weren't doing well. They just split up. Money was a huge issue. So I went home and helped them pay their mortgage. And in that, I got a job at a mom and pop restaurant, just serving tables. I'd served tables a little bit in college. And so it really taught me that responsibility piece, right? Because I went from being a kid, my junior year in college, I was still a kid, right? I was, doing kid stuff. Couldn't even make my bed. And then just came home and was forced to be an adult real quick. So I did that, and when I was 26, I finally was like, okay, I have to stop. I was 21 to 26, 5 years. I'm just working at mom and pop restaurants, helping my mom pay her mortgage, helping my dad out. And finally I said, all right, I got to live life for myself. Took some responsibility, and through that really got granular on what I wanted out of my life. As granular as a 26-year-old could get, right?
Right.
So I moved back to Delray. I moved to Cape Cod for a summer, moved back to Delray just to work, seasonally. Yeah. When I moved back, I said, I'm not going back to any of the restaurants I worked at before. I'm going to work at nice restaurants. So I took a job at Park Tavern in Delray, which was really starting to become something. And I just learned work ethic, man. I just worked my tail, my tail to the bone.
You did.
And I was, I would work 30, 40 straight days.
Wow.
Anything I could do to grow there. And I became the best server there, or at least in the top 3. I think there were 2 better than me, but we won't talk about that.
I think you're up in number 1.
Yeah, so I was, became one of the top servers there, and then 2 people got hired to be bartenders who weren't as good at serving as me. And I didn't understand why, right? Now, today I do. They couldn't take the best server off the floor, but they could take a mediocre one and put him behind the bar. But if they took the best server, they would lose so much on the floor. They didn't want to lose that. So I left. I went and got a few different jobs, tried phone sales, tried all this other stuff, and realized that restaurants were for me. And that's how I got into bartending at Park Tavern. And yeah, that's where my career really took off.
So I remember always seeing you at Park Tavern, and every time I would see you, I'd say to Natalia, Justin's so awesome, he's doing really good here, but I can see like he has this personality that he needs to be in like sales or like something where he's talking to people all day. So I'm sure you're doing good, making good money, but like you have a limit when you're working at a restaurant, right?
Yeah. And it's not this guy. And this guy is not the limit there.
It's not this guy. So how did you, like, what was the moment that you were like, okay, I'm going to transition to real estate, or what happened to get you there?
You know what, I think anytime I'm doing something, my goal is to be the best at it that I can be. Mm-hmm. So when I was bartending, I wasn't thinking, what's my next career? Mm-hmm. The one thing I will say about that is I was afraid there wasn't more. Mm-hmm. I didn't know how to get out. So anybody who is in bartending or restaurants or a retail job that they feel they can't get out of, please reach out to me at Himmelsells Homes on Instagram. My number 561-302-9709. Feel free to reach out to me anytime because I know what it feels like to be stuck there, and you're not stuck. Your skills are applicable to so many other jobs. And so if you don't actually actively take your free time to pursue them, you will never get to them. So I'm at Park Tavern and I start dating this girl. I've been there for 5 years. I start dating this girl and I'm like, man, this is the one. She's not gonna marry a bartender. If we want to have a family, like what kind of dad am I gonna be as a bartender? I can't be home at nights. I wanna be home at nights. My dad went to every soccer game, everything I ever had, every practice, and I wanna be that dad. And so I slowed down. I said, what can I do? And so I thought commercial real estate would be great. Couldn't figure my way in there, so I just did residential, and I say just on purpose there, which is, at the time, I really felt I was settling.
That's funny.
Because I'd failed to realize the value in a residential realtor, which is the ability to help somebody in the biggest moment of their life. I mean, right? Divorce is probably the number one most chaotic thing anybody goes through, stressful thing. Mm-hmm. But buying and selling a home is easily number 2 or 3. And it's your largest asset, right? Other than your health, your largest asset's probably your home.
Yeah.
So, let me wipe some of this sweat off of my mouth so I stop spitting water at you. But I love the heat. This is awesome.
Turning it up a little bit.
Yeah, and what's cool is I get like this awesome experience while being on a podcast. So I'm a big 2-bird with 1 stone killer.
No, so we're saving time today. You don't have to go home and do.
No, this is genius. So I said I gotta get out. I get into real estate, and I just said I want to sell 1 home a month. That's my goal. Yeah. And story's over now. So my first year I sold $10 million in real estate, which was about, I think it was 36 homes, which is about 3 a month. And then my third year in real estate, we sold $43 million, made it $1.1 million in revenue. That's amazing. My take home to that was $836,000. Awesome. I say that because, not to brag clearly, but because how crazy is it that 3 years ago I was a bartender, not thinking I could do anything more with my life, and 3 years later, I can make $836,000 at my job and sell my house in the neighborhood we're in right now and make $300,000. So I made 1.136
in a year.
In a year.
I think that's amazing, and I think that's really important that people at home hear. People think it's like a dream where I'm stuck in this job, I can't get out, I just have to grind through it and be stressed out and not happy, and that's just how my life has to be. Yeah. But if you make a decision and you put everything into it, there's a way to get out and be super successful. And it may take a long time, but there's ways that it doesn't take that long. Yeah. And if you haven't seen Justin on social media, he's like a guru. I don't know what it is, but you know how to mix humor with sales, and like everything you do is really catchy.
I appreciate that.
So he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, I like what you said. It doesn't have to take so long, and it could. If you are the type of person who tries to do it all yourself, it's going to take a long time. And honestly, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you finally have gotten your wife really involved in your business, and you've seen how, right? They say the same story is that we really have, if you sleep 8 hours a day, you got 16 hours.
Right.
But if you have 3 assistants, you now have 40 hours in a day, right? Because you have 3 of their 8 hours, and you're 16. You start to really be able to jump time. So hire assistants is number 1. Number 2, mentors. People love to share. When they're successful, they love to share what they're doing. That's why I come on podcasts. Because it's so fun to think that I could be helping you right now change your life, that I love to do that.
Isn't it fun?
It is. So mentors is the second thing. So important to find people, or coaches. Coaches are people you pay. Mentors are people you don't pay. Don't go up to someone and ask them to be your mentor. But sometimes people take you under their wing. Put yourself in harm's way. Get in front of good people. You are the 5 people you hang around.
I love that, and I love the mentor thing.
Yeah.
I have a friend that's close to me that's given me a lot of business and life advice, over the years, and I really, appreciate that. Even a couple months ago, I reached out to you and we met for lunch because I wanted to see, what you do for social media, and since then I kind of had an epiphany and I started just putting stuff out there, like not overthinking it, not worrying about what people are going to think, what it looks like, and that's what I think the key is.
I posted this on my Instagram today, a reel, and the caption was, "My shitty video is better than your non-existent video." And that is the truest thing that's ever happened, right? You just need to put out content. It will get better as you put it out, right? You get better at it. I could have done it from this angle. Oh, I should have said this instead. Learn it on the fly. Learn it while the information's out there.
Yeah. It's fun. I'm loving putting the social media stuff out there. Sometimes, like this podcast, I thought I was going to start it, and it's like so unique, the idea that like within a month it's just going to take off.
No.
That's not how it works. So I'm learning the hard way. I kind of got bummed out for a few days, and I'm like, am I on the right path? But I'm like, yes, I'm passionate about this. I love teaching people about their health, about different ways to get healthy, like the sauna and the cold plunge, chiropractic, my main passion, and all these things that I have knowledge on. Like, no, I just got to do it. Like, but now I'm thinking about it more about from the passion and fun aspect, and not what am I going to get out of it.
Boom. So, I think that's one of the keys, right? And if you're watching this, share it with somebody, right? Yeah. Alon's providing a lot of value here. If you can, just pause it real quick, share this with 3 friends. Because the more this grows, the more people have this kind of knowledge, the happier our society's going to be, and a high tide raises all ships.
Totally.
So I totally agree with that. How have you found your journey with going from trying to be so purposeful to just being more playful and just enjoying the journey?
What I've found is it's actually a lot more fun, and the outcome is that the universe is just sending me exactly what I want without having to force it. Like,
right.
When I was forcing it, it felt like work and like struggle. And now that I'm just doing it for fun, I'm attracting the right people that I like to take care of. All these opportunities are coming to me without me having to, think about it. And all these like coincidences, a friend told me they're God incidences, where it's like the universe or God is just sending me these things where like in the last month I had all these great ideas where I'm super excited about. Like the pizza pop-up, pay it back pizza, which I'll spend a minute on talking about.
If you want to tell them about now.
Sure. So a little bit of an update on Pay It Back Pizza. For those of you who've been following, or maybe you haven't followed, about a month and a half ago, when I had this idea for doing the podcast, which was after doing like a self-improvement business seminar, on the flight home, I had the idea of doing this podcast in a sauna and cold plunge, talking about health advice and life success stories. But I also had this idea for Pay It Back Pizza, because I feel like there's this problem in society where, there's people that aren't making a livable wage, there's tons of people that are in homelessness, and really nobody's giving them a second chance or like a way out. People actually look at somebody that's homeless sometimes and get angry, like, why can't they just go get a job? Or why can't they fix themselves.
Ridiculous.
And there's
When do we get out of this thing?
5 minutes.
Okay.
And then we're going to jump into cold plunge.
Holy shit.
I told you it was hot. So after the pizza, we'll go to the cold plunge. But basically, people are not given second chances. If they don't have like a place that they can receive mail, it's hard to get a job.
Yeah.
Plus, if you don't have the right clothes, you don't have a shower or anything like that, it's hard to get a job.
Yeah.
And so my idea is starting these low-cost pizza pop-ups, which would, cost between $1,000 to a couple $1,000s to start. All the ingredients are very inexpensive, and then we give either homeless people or low-income people a job. It could either be people getting going into sobriety, veterans. Give them a job and an opportunity to be able to make a livable wage. Get them housing. I found out, working with some lawyers this week, today we're going to file the nonprofit paperwork. And so it's going to be a nonprofit so people can donate. We're going to be able to provide housing for people, food. But the main thing is jobs.
Yeah.
Because you can give people meals every day, you can give them money, but if you don't teach them strategies of how to live, they're going to end up in the same place.
100%.
So the whole idea is we're giving them jobs where they can grow and they can learn to make pizzas, but then they can eventually run the whole stand and we can do more and more of them. So they have opportunity to make more money and actually live a successful life. And then also teach them these types of skills that you're talking about, mentorship and, just successful living. So that's my goal. I want to start with one this year. Before the end of the year, my goal is at least one. And then, on and on, we create more and more as it's successful. And it's a crazy idea, and I'm sure that we'll have some bumps along the road. But I have some connections of people that have ties to the homeless community or low-income people that could use...
Where can I find information about how to donate to this?
So today we're getting the nonprofit status
Cool.
set up. I'm going to set up a website. So in the description for the podcast, we'll put the website once it's up about Pay It Back Pizza. Already have the logo, already have the idea, already have a game plan. This is the last step, and within the next couple of weeks, we're going.
All right, we're back with Float, Sizzle, and Chill with Dr. Schrier, and I got Justin Himmelbaum here, and that got pretty hot, right?
Oh yeah, the infrared is very hot.
Yeah, so it's not infrared, it's like an electric, it gets up to like 200 degrees.
Whatever the heck that is, that was hot.
Yeah, it's really hot.
Oh, this feels good though.
So, perfect. I wanted to ask you a little bit now about your health routine, because I see some things that you post. What have you been doing for your health?
So, about 2 years ago, my coach came to me and he said, "Do you want to run a marathon?" And so I said, "No, I don't." And he's like, "Well, a bunch of the other guys I coach are running it." So I said, "All right, I'll try it." And I really found a lot of joy in it. Mm-hmm. Although it stinks to have to get up at 4 or 5 a.m. all the time and run because Florida's really hot in the summer. But I found it to be really cathartic to try and do something long term, right? Because you have to get up. If you don't run 3 miles today, you can't do the 26 miles in 3 months. Mm-hmm. So I really like that. I have a cold plunge in my backyard, which I find really helps with the the inflammation and the joint pain. Mm-hmm. I'm a big Huberman Labs guy, Tim Ferriss, and they talk about that a lot. So yeah, it's been a lot of cold plunging, a lot of running, and then I play tennis like 3 to 4 times a week.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you're a really active guy. That's awesome.
I try and be. I'm actually not. Me and my brothers all call ourselves the busiest lazy people you'll ever meet, or the most productive lazy people you'll ever meet, because we're all super productive, but what we prefer to be doing is sitting on the couch. Mm-hmm. And so if you give us free time, that's pretty much what we'll do. So we just fill up all our time with things like tennis, running, whatever keeps us busy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
With the running and the cold plunging, it made me think of, it has physical aspects, but also like mental health aspects too. Have you found that doing the cold plunging and the running has helped like mentally just de-stress or wind down from your busy job?
Well, for the most part, cold plunging or running are both things you do for mental health, because you learn when you do hard things that the traffic isn't that bad, right? Mm-hmm. It's not nearly as bad as running 15 miles, I'll tell you that. So when the guy annoys you in traffic, it doesn't really bother you at all.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And then in terms of the cold plunging, like you're doing something hard. If you can control your breath in here, you can control your breath when you're once again in traffic or doing something that usually annoys you, or if your boss is pissing you off. You're like, well, I've already done some hard stuff today. I could roll through this.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's funny you brought traffic up because I feel the same. I actually thought about the same exact thing. Like now when I'm in traffic and somebody like beeps and like speeds around me, I'm like, man, that person needs to like cold plunge and the sauna.
They need to chill.
I'm like,
they need to float, sizzle, and chill.
I'm like, everything's fine. Like just relax. Like if you're one of those people that like get super stressed out and like zoom around people and beep, like just relax. You're not gonna get there any faster anyway. Maybe like a minute faster.
Yeah.
But then your whole day is gonna be messed up. So chill out. Justin's been in here for 3 minutes. If you want, we could switch.
Has that been 3?
It's been over 3. Yeah, it's been like 4 minutes.
That's how little I realize it anymore.
I haven't done it in about a week, so this is gonna be cold for me.
Let me dunk my head real quick.
All right.
Oh, that's a terrible way to do it. I just like poured water into my nose. I don't know why I tried it that way.
All right. Oh. Whew, it's cold. All right.
It's not cold.
No, it's not cold.
It's warm.
It's warm. It's gonna be
warmer
steamy
than the
soon.
sauna, actually.
Yeah, it's warm.
It's so warm.
Oh, you gotta get a little closer. So this is the chance for you can ask me anything you want.
Oh, I like that. I have a lot of questions. So, I've seen I've watched your business for a long time, and it seems that you've really taken your lead generation and social media and it seems like you've taken your business a lot more seriously lately.
Yeah.
Is that because, why is that? I guess that's the right question. I don't want to lead you.
Yeah, so it's always been successful over the years, but it was kind of, I don't want to say organic, but like there could have been more things that I was doing and I was kind of being lazy. Like I have good testimonials and good reviews from patients, so we have people that are referred to the office, but I see all this potential. There's so many people out there that I meet that are in pain that don't know about us yet. And so I was like, I just have, like, it makes me uncomfortable to do the social media stuff. Like I'm one of those people that since Facebook came out, probably I just watch the videos and look at people's posts and like stuff, but like I never post anything myself.
Yeah.
Like people know what are going on in my life through my wife, Natalia's posts about like our lives and our kids. So I'm like, oh, I'm good. But recently I just had like an epiphany, like I have to put stuff out there. Like if I want to help more people and I'm passionate about what I do and I have the information to share, which I feel like I have all those, I have to put it out. And so and now that I have, I'm actually having fun with it because I'm not trying to like sell things to people. I'm not trying to like convince people, hey, come to my chiropractic practice. I'm like, hey, this is the cool stuff I know. Like if you like it, great, come check it out. If you don't, like move on. Yeah. Like I don't want to take care of people that are skeptical. I want to see people that are excited and get it.
Yeah. Do you think when you first started, you thought, hey, if I just do good work, more people will come and they'll learn about it? And so you didn't feel you had to? And was there a mindset shift to like, oh, I could put this stuff out there and I could just help more people if they need help?
My mindset in the past was like, I'll do it the easier way, like the less confrontational way.
Okay.
I'm really good at like, we have tons of people that do great with our care, and so I ask people to write reviews for us. Yeah. So we have like almost 600 Google reviews. We have more reviews than any chiropractor I think I know.
Yeah.
Throughout Florida or basically anywhere, and so that's how a lot of people find us. But that's kind of like the easy way because I don't have to like confront anybody. But with social media, you have to like put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And it was uncomfortable for me, but now I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna do it. And so far, people are liking it and reacting. Cool. Sometimes I feel like, I'm putting so much out that I'm like, oh, I should be further, but it's only a month. I'm like, all right, you got to build, momentum, a following.
My first 2 years in real estate, and that's after being big on social media when I was a bartender. Mm-hmm. My first 2 years in real estate on social media weren't that great. It takes time.
Yeah.
I think like a year in is when it started to like.
It's fun though. I mean, I'm having fun with it. So I figure, as long as I'm having fun with it, if I'm getting anything back, it doesn't really matter. It's, the universe it may send it a different way.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. Cool.
You made it, Doc.
I made it 3 minutes. Awesome.
Great job.
Well, I'm excited that we did this today. I always, when I thought about the podcast, I had you down on my list to interview. And so I'm happy that you're here and that we could do this today.
Well, thanks for having me. It's funny, I tweaked my knee 2 days ago, so this warm and hot and cold was pretty good for me. So
you're going to feel good later.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Everybody at home, keep an eye out for the Pay It Back Pista updates. Will be up in the next week or so. And then and we also have a site now where you can check out some saunas and cold plunges if you're thinking about having one at your house. We have them available, and you can learn more research about it and how it can help you. We appreciate you floating, sizzling, and chilling with us today on this episode. To stay connected, consider showing your support by following, sharing, and awarding us a sizzling 5-star review on platforms like Apple or Spotify. Remember, you can participate in our weekly $1,000 raffle by submitting a review to Apple or Spotify and leaving a comment on the current YouTube episode. Check the episode description for instructions. You can reach us at www.dralon.com, DRELAN. Drop an email at info@dralon.com. Stay happy, healthy, and abundant.